Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that Cisco appears to be preparing for a round of layoffs. Network giant Cisco is planning to restructure its business, which will include laying off thousands of employees, as it seeks to focus on high-growth areas, according to three sources familiar with the matter. The San Jose, California-based company has a total employee count of 84,900 as of fiscal 2023, according to its website. The company is still deciding on the total number of employees to be affected by the layoffs, one person said. But before we get into all of that, I would like to thank everyone who views my videos. If you would like to support the channel, please see the link to buy me a coffee in the video description below. And please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Cisco Systems Inc. will lay off hundreds of workers in 2 San Francisco Bay Area cities next month, according to state filings last week. In a warn notice sent to the state July 17th and received September 12, the company said it would permanently lay off 123 employees at a Milpitas address and 227 at a San Jose address. The layoffs will take effect on October 16, according to the notice. An announcement could come as early as next week, as the company prepares for its earnings call on February 14th. In November 2022, Cisco announced during an earnings call a restructuring that impacted roughly 5% of its workforce, which led to $600 million in severance and other charges. The move would come at a time when tech companies, including telecom makers Nokia and Ericsson, cut thousands of jobs last year in a bid to lower costs. Several big tech firms such as Amazon, Alphabet, and Microsoft have implemented layoffs in recent weeks. Cisco had cut its full-year revenue and profit forecasts in its previous earnings call, in a sign that demand for its networking equipment was slowing. It had blamed the weakness on a slowdown in orders in the first quarter, saying, "Customers are currently focused on installing and implementing products in their environments." The company has in recent years grappled with supply chain issues and a post-pandemic slowdown in demand, which has hastened its push into software offerings like cybersecurity. Through May, Cisco Systems had announced layoffs of 700 workers, including 80 located in San Francisco offices. The company also laid off 4,000 workers between January 2022 and January 2023, putting it at number 6 in the layoff rankings of big tech companies. In an August 16 press release, Cisco announced earnings of $12.6 billion for the fiscal year ended July 29th, up 7% from 2022. The company also spent $2.8 billion on share buybacks and closed acquisitions of 3 privately held companies. Cloud security software firm Lightspin Technologies looted, digital analytics and product experience firm SmartLook SRO, and large language model cybersecurity firm ArmorBlocks Inc. during the fourth quarter. This is about prioritizing investments in our transformation and not about cost savings, a Cisco spokesperson said in a statement. Cisco has roughly the same number of employees as before the process began, and we continue to do everything we can to help place affected employees in open roles and offer extensive support, including generous severance packages. The overall number of tech layoffs appears to be declining after a brutal year for the Bay Area's tech-heavy economy. San Francisco tech companies laid off over 12,000 employees in January, a figure driven mainly by Salesforce's decision to cut 8,000 employees that month. Yet layoffs have steadily slowed since then, with July reporting first 178 layoffs. In August, San Francisco-based online retailer Wish said it would slash its global workforce by 34% or 255 employees. The layoffs will affect 160 workers based in the U.S., according to a Tuesday filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. It is unclear how many affected employees work in San Francisco, and cybersecurity firm Splunk is set to cut 7% of workforce, or about 500 employees, ahead of Cisco acquisition. Splunk will lay off 7% of its global workforce, CEO Gary Steele said in a message to employees months ahead of the close of its planned acquisition by Cisco. Steele emphasized that the layoffs were not the result of the $28 billion Cisco deal. The Splunk-Cisco deal is Cisco's largest ever. Cybersecurity firm Splunk is set to be Cisco's largest ever acquisition. Announced Wednesday it would lay off approximately 7% of its global workforce, months ahead of the deal close. Splunk had nearly 8,000 employees as of January, according to its regulatory filings, meaning that around 500 employees will likely lose their jobs. The company laid off about 300 employees earlier this year. Splunk CEO Gary Steele said the firings are not a result of our agreement with Cisco in a letter to employees that was filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Most of the laid-off employees are located in the U.S. according to a concurrent filing with the SEC and will receive unspecified severance and health care packages. Within the next 24 hours, each ELT member will communicate with their organization to summarize any changes to their teams, Steele wrote. Splunk will incur about $42 million in restructuring costs, with most occurring before the end of April 2024. The company declined to comment on which teams would be affected or the timing of the layoffs shortly after the acquisition announcement and referred CNBC back to its SEC filing. In September, Cisco announced it would acquire Splunk in an all-cash deal valued at $28 billion. The company said the deal was expected to close by the third quarter of 2024. Shortly after the announcement, Steele and Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins discussed the deal on a call with analysts. Together, we will become one of the largest software companies globally, Robbins told analysts. Layoffs have struck tech companies large and small over the past year. Companies such as Google and Microsoft have cut thousands of employees, while many venture-backed companies have become so-called zombie startups. But what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. And before we end, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions. Doctors including any type of specialty. Nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school, as well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorldNet.com also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Thank you for watching.